Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Chakwadash. Yahawah is the true name of the Most High God. YAHAWASHI is the true name of the only begotten Son. I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS who have taught us this word and teach us this word today. And I want to give a salutation unto the hopeful elect scattered across the four corners of this earth, striving for salvation. This is the brother Yatazakbar with the GMS Nebraska camp. And in this lesson, what I want to get into is going over this quote that I got from one of the commentaries. I believe I was reading in the book of James when I found it, but as I'm going back through it, I can't even find it. It was something that I read yesterday, but it's okay, because the quote, is on its own is good, we're going to tie scriptures with it. But I'll go ahead and read it, which says, if a man is only rich in this world, when he dies, he leaves his riches. But if a man is rich before the Most High, when he dies, he goes to his riches. And this is something for us believers to examine within ourselves, where we're storing our riches, because, and some, the first thing I want to touch on within that quote is, what those riches are. Because for those of us who are in this truth, those riches may look different than the riches of somebody in the world. We're not focused on the money of this world. We understand that this dollar is going to crash. We understand that the MOTB system is coming. Riches for us may look different, where riches could be our family. Riches could be something that we've placed time and energy into in this world. It's something that our flesh is tied to. It's something that we value. That's really what riches are. You have the quote that, money ain't the only thing that makes a person rich. A person can be rich in other things. One thing that, people often tie to that is your family. But the scriptures talk about how, we have to be willing to lose whatever on this side in order to go into salvation. We have to be willing to lose and separate from whatever on this side in order to, put Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI first. Because it could, what we know for certain is that whatever we own on this side, we're not taking with us into a chariot. Only we're going to be beamed up, not our favorite, keepsake that we've had for years, not our, not our business that we may have created, not anything, not our favorite car, none of that's coming on a chariot with us. Now we would hope that our families will come on a chariot with us, but that's not a guarantee. It could be that our family is 2/3, and we have to, that's why the scriptures talk about loving them less than we love the Lord, and not being too attached. Where is it? Let me go here. In Luke chapter 14 and verse 26, which says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And when you get into that word hate there in the Greek, it's Strong's G3404, which is the Greek word meseo, and it's primarily in the biblical usage, it says to hate, pursue with hatred, detest. But when you come down here to the Strong's definitions, it says to love less. And that's the thing. We love our families. We love the people near unto us. It's not saying that you have to literally hate them. It's not saying to hate your child, but it's saying to love your child less than you love Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Because if we are putting anything in front of this truth, anything in front of this gospel, then how can we be the Lord's disciple? Because if we were if it was, a decision that had to be made, whether we are going to, want to stay with our families and be destroyed on this side, or, go into a chariot, that's a decision that we'd have to make. And then it would be, shown right then and there what we value more. Now, my point is, coming back to this precept, or not this precept, but this quote, if a man is only rich in this world, when he dies, he leaves his riches. That's a mindset that we have to get out of. Because if we're placing too much value in the things on this side, then we'll feel like we're losing by giving to this truth, or by A death is going to be something that some of us in this truth is faced with. And it's going to be harder to face that with boldness if we're in the mindset of loss. If we're in the mindset of, you know, that's the best word I can think of. You know, if we're in the mindset of loss, then it's going to be harder for us to face execution for the truth's sake. It's going to be harder for us to face sacrifice for the truth's sake. But it says, what? If a man is rich before the Most High, when he dies, he goes to his riches. And this is why the scriptures tell us to lay our treasures up in heaven, to look forward to the future. This present life that we live in is not the end all be all. Let's get, first off, let's get, Slacky, I don't know what order I want to get these precepts. Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 41. Where it says, even so now, seeing corruption is grown up, and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. Now this is something that we understand, but this is something that we really have to sit within our spirits, that this life that we're living is not the end all be all. There's life after this life. This life that we live in right now, we're setting up for our life in the kingdom. And this is why we must be willing to lose whatever, to sacrifice whatever, to separate from whatever on this side. Because in the kingdom, we're going to receive 100-fold. It says, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. And this was this was a common belief and understanding amongst our people in ancient times that, you know, reincarnation was real. You know, this life that you live in ain't the end all be all. And that knowledge should help a person not be so intemperate. That knowledge should help a person not be so fleshly. When you understand that, okay, this life that I'm living, even though this is my understanding, this is my experience, I'm going to live again after this. And so the choices that I make right now have something to do with my lot in my next life. And that's exactly true for us Israelites, because, you know, even though all of Israel is going to be saved in the kingdom, there's going to be a ranking. You're going to have the elect, and you're going to have the 2/3, which are reborn into the kingdom. And once you're born into the kingdom, whatever lot that you have, that's your lot for eternity. And why miss your spot? Why miss being able to be a part of the elect? Because of being too tied to things on this side that is detached from eternity, that's temporary, you know, that's corrupt. It says again in 2nd Ezra 7 and 42, it says, he answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. The kingdom is where much glory doth abide. The kingdom is where we can really enjoy everything that we want to relax and feed into. We can really enjoy our wives, our children. We can really enjoy, you know, what we own, our fields. You know, we can really enjoy the world. But we should be looking forward to the destruction of this place, and whatever has to be destroyed along with this place has to go in order for the kingdom to come. Because that's the utopia that we're looking forward to on this earth. That's a part of the Lord's determination to make everything on this earth perfect. And whatever we lose on this side, we go and get back. You know, it says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. And so this is why we are so, you know, this mindset, and keeping this mindset of understanding that, you know, dying on this side, loss on this side, you know, is truly gain, not loss. Because, like it says, the day of doom is going to be the end of this time and the beginning of immortality for to come. We don't get upset when we see prophecies coming to pass, and even when it affects us, when things start getting more expensive, you know, when, you know, even when Jacob's trouble is coming, you know, and we're, you know, we're going through different plights or whatever the case may be, you know, it's going to be hard, but we're going to be rejoicing at the same time, because we understand that we're getting closer and closer to the Lord's return. And when America is ultimately destroyed, you ain't going to see none of us hurt about it. None of the elect hurt about it. Why? Because we understand that America's destruction not only doesn't need to come, but it should come. And it's going to cause what? The kingdom of Israel to be established. So that's why we hasten for the Lord to destroy this place. We hasten for this place to be wiped away. And we understand that there's so much more to come hereafter. But if a person is in a mindset of, if a person is too attached to what they have on this side, if they're too attached to this current life that they're living, then that talk and that mindset of, or not that mindset, but that reality of things being, destroyed and them having to lose things is going to hurt them more. It's going to be harder for them to accept it. And Lord willing, I'm making sense. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Right, so again, those treasures, that's not literally always talking about money. Those treasures is anything that we value and that we have a care about. But it's saying that those things on earth, they can be corrupted. They can be stolen. You can be putting so much energy into a thing, so much energy into a woman, and then she leave you. You could be putting so much energy into your children, and then they get the chip. And I'm using the family as the staple example, but again, it can be a plethora of things. It says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And this is how we get into a spiritual mindset. We place our hope, our care, our treasure on the things above, on the kingdom. That's where we are really placing, what we value. We're placing all our value on the kingdom. Because again, like I said, once we pass away on this side, or once, we have to lose things on this side, we understand that we're going to our treasure that we're building up. Not losing it, not going away from it. And looking at the riches on a more literal level, the Lord has parables to where he talked about how, a rich man cannot enter into the kingdom. You had the rich man that said, I do this, I do that. I'm living this life of holiness toward you, Lord. But the Lord told him, all right, then let go of all your money and come after me. And he wasn't able to do it because he had worked so hard for it, meant so much to him. And we have to ask ourselves, what do we have on this side that will be hard for us to walk away from, just like it was hard for that rich man to walk away from his money? It wasn't just about the money. It was about everything tied to it. Think about Lot's wife. Everything that she couldn't walk away from when Sodom and Gomorrah was being destroyed. She had memories, she had attachments and things that she cared about in Sodom and Gomorrah. It wasn't just about, oh, my city's being destroyed. It was about, this is probably where she grew up. She had people that she knew there. She had memories there. And again, we have to detach ourselves from that, because we'll get too much in that mindset of, oh, I'm losing by walking away from this life. I'm losing if I get put to death. Nah, man, it's a beautiful thing to walk away from this life, because we're getting closer to the life that is coming hereafter, and that life is so much more than anything on this side. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14, which says, for here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And we're not looking for a continuing city on this side. We're not looking for sovereignty on earth, because right now it's in Esau's power. He has the power over the earth right now. We don't want no country on this side, because we still gonna have to answer to our enemy. We don't want no sovereignty on this side. We still gonna be underneath Esau's rule. We're looking for that city that's that the scriptures speak about, that's set up on a hill. We're looking for the kingdom. And I bring this precept out just to continue to further that mindset of being not being nearsighted, for lack of better words. We have to be able to look ahead. And that's hard to say, because in this life, all we know is this present life that we're living. But through faith, we have to be able to, what does it say? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So with that faith, it should be, we have to look forward and past this current temporal, world, and look forward to immortality. And once we, look forward with that mindset, our actions will follow. And let's grab this precept. We'll end it on this in Galatians chapter 5, verse 16, which says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. You know, and the flesh is superficial. It's you know, it's nearsighted, as I said before. It's only worried about what's right in front of it and what it can feel, what it can taste, touch, you know, understand in the moment. The spirit helps us look past all those things. It helps us to separate from all those fleshly desires, you know. And one of the fruits of the spirit is that faith. So this is a very spiritual mindset to keep. You know, let's read it again. If a man is only rich in this world, when he dies, he leaves his riches. That's the flesh. But it says if a man is rich before the Most High, when he dies, he goes to his riches. You know? So we have to keep that spiritual mindset. That's what's going to get us through. That's what's going to allow us to face these times with boldness, to face whatever we have to sacrifice in boldness, even down to our very lives. Look at the woman with the 7 sons in 2 Maccabees. What got them through is that they understood that there was life after the death, you know, of the life that they was living. And that's something that, you know, that was professed by them. They said, okay, you can torture us now, you can put us to death in these bodies, but we gonna come back and we gonna be blessed. And they were speaking to the Edomite that was putting them to death. I can't remember exactly who was behind it, but they said to him, you're gonna come back as well, and you're gonna be accursed. And keeping that in mind, that's going to make us so powerful in these times we're coming into. We're going to be able to face so much knowing that this ain't the end all be all. Okay, you can put to death this body. I'll be back. And I'm going to make sure whatever Edomite put, you know, one of us to death, will own them as a slave in the kingdom. You know? But, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Kharkadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS, and a salutation unto the elect. Shalom.